Hi everyone, welcome back to Vom Yoderheim Rottweilers. I'm here with a couple of Caprice's puppies right here, and along with Destiny, who we have working with our puppies to basically provide a puppy pre-training curriculum for them. Then we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about that in today's video. I'm sure if you've been following us for a while or the last week or so, you've been seeing kind of some of that different things we've been doing with our puppies. And this will be a video more in depth to kind of explain some of that stuff. So I'm going to be asking Destiny some questions. I do have experience with it as well, but I want to make sure it's done every day. You know, we all are busy. Having a person dedicated to it that can help us out. You know, I have tons of people calling me. I need to make sure I get back to people. I can't do everything, so having somebody like Destiny is great to have on the team. Right, Destiny?
Yes, I enjoy being on the team.
And you enjoy obviously working with the puppies and stuff.
Yes.
So
they're adorable.
I asked her a question earlier, you'll probably see it on Instagram. I asked what's the difference that she's seen already working with Rottweilers, and she's working with, you know, puppies at this stage. Just wait till you work with a 7 or 8 week old puppy.
Oh yeah.
But what was your answer to that?
The muscle, they are very muscular.
You can tell even with a young puppy, you can just
yes.
kind of tell how muscular they are, and you know, because you work with other breeds, you know, Bernedoodles, Bernese, Porties, you do Porties. But yeah, these are gonna be some fun new experience for you as far as the breed goes. So I kind of want to just ask her questions, kind of go down the list of the curriculum from day 3 to 8 weeks, and we do extended puppy pre-training if the puppy is still with us. So talk just real high level, the first step as far as I know, day 3 to I think day 17, is that correct?
Day 16.
Day
usually.
16.
We do a massage and then a new scent every day, so they can turn on their brains in a way.
Yep. There's rabbit fur, there's alpaca fur. We did parsley today. So again, if they ever experience those type of scents in the future, it's going to be something that's not new to them. They've already experienced it, and they're going to have won't have the stress. They won't have any type of fear or anything like that towards that scent. And then as far as the handling, I think you mentioned about how it helps with the blood flow. As far as that goes, and that just helps with what's important about getting the blood flow for a puppy.
It's good stimulation for the skin, helps them grow better and faster, and it gets them used to us handling them. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think too, it also, like, if it helps them with their just immunity to, any types of, if they would get sick, or I feel it just helps, it helps them get stronger by doing this type of stuff. Especially, so we're talking about the first 3 days to 16 days, guys. So that's the main thing. They're still with mama in their nest. You're doing this with them, with the mama. So then after day 16 or 17, what's the next curriculum?
We do a whole week of different sounds. And this is like fireworks or pots and pans. And we do this so that when they hear this later, they won't be scared or as stressed.
So funny story, guys. Obviously 4th of July is coming up. I went to Phantom Fireworks last night and bought a bunch of fireworks, and we had some of my family over, and we let a bunch off. I also have some Frenchies, and I mean, they go nuts. I need to keep them away because we had one of those just, multiple rockets go off, whatever, boom, 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 boom. And Stella, my one Frenchie, like, she put her head over the, like, she ran down to where the fireworks were going off, and she almost, thankfully all of them went off, but just like if there would have been one more, it would have been an issue. The reason I'm bringing it up is they do seem a little bit more, not scared, but I think a puppy would be more calmer if they're used to a firework. They're not afraid of it. They're more like kind of interested in it. But I think if you do the fireworks, they're just more relaxed. Like, I've seen customers, like, you do the storm sounds, right? I've seen customers send videos of, just them chilling, or the puppies chilling during a thunderstorm, instead of going nuts or like kind of freaking out. I think that's the biggest thing with the sounds, and that's what you do kind of week 3, what she's explaining. And So it is very important. Fireworks, thunderstorms, those are probably the two main ones. Obviously there's other, I think horns or car noises.
Yeah, I do sirens, pots and pans.
Yeah, just normal everyday stuff. It doesn't sound like much, guys, but I think it is actually very, very important. And how long do you kind of do that, like each day with the sounds? How long does that sound, or do you do that with each puppy?
Yeah, I do the whole bunch together because we stay with Mom, and we do that for 15 minutes.
So 15 minutes, you're just having fireworks in the background noise just going. So again, that just kind of, what's the word? It not condenses. What's the word?
Exposes.
Exposes. There's a C word that I'm trying to think of. It's on the tip of my tongue. Like, you get condensed to it. What's the word term? Shoot.
Conditioned.
Conditioned. That's the word. Yeah. Now the puppies are conditioned to that noise, and it's not going to affect them. So it's a small thing. Week 3 that we do with the sound therapy, but I think it's very effective. So far we've talked about the scent training, the sound training, the early neurological stimulation, which is the holding the puppies, doing that with them. Then I think now you're on to week 4. What's week 4 like?
Week 4 is other toys that they can play with and more human interaction. It's kind of like a week for them to play away from Mom. So that's the first week I take them away from Mom, and we do this for 30 minutes on week 4. And at first they're very shy and not wanting to play with the toys, and by the end of the week they're so rambunctious and they're playing with the toys, and it's fun to watch.
So talking about that step, it's a really big step to me because you can get puppies that are shy, that they stay kind of shy at 6 to 7 weeks. If you're not working with them every day, it takes longer for them to really see their personality. Or if you start at 4 weeks, like you said, they start a little shy, just like any kid will. If you introduce them to something new, they might I don't want to do that. And that's kind of what's going in their heads. But now you're experiencing different toys, and you're opening their minds, and just once you start doing it, a kid's gonna once you start practicing with a ball, they're gonna be used to it and want to do it more, instead of if you just introduce it right away at an early age. So I love that it kind of brings out their personalities more and just their confidence more by starting them at that age, that with your program there. And I think you do, they're softer toys, so they're not like the big, heavy, bones, or it's really soft, because you're gonna talk about how you upgrade the toys as they get older, right? So that's more soft toys, and you take them away from Mama, but they're really close, they're still near her. What's week 5 then, right?
Week 5 is interactive toys, so the toys are moving and making noise, and this is so they're used to objects moving around that they're not used to seeing. It kind of scares them at first, but after that, they're like, oh, that's no big deal. They're not worried about it at all, which is kind of nice.
Yep, it's awesome. So different unique toys that you'll probably see when we do some different, as they get older, and you'll be able to see those different toys that we bring into them and share with them. Anything else besides different toys from week 4 to week 5? Is there anything else besides bringing them out from Mama and you're working with them? Does Manding start then? Or when does Manding start? Is that week 6?
Yeah, week 6.
Week 6, okay. So now you're kind of getting their confidence up, week 4 to 5 with the toys, different interaction. Week 6, what's week 6?
We start putting collars on them, so they're used to having that around their neck. And then they have different toys with animal smells on them, like
different bones and stuff.
Different bones and stuff. And then they also we take away the moving toys, because at that stage though, they could be scared of them more than, so it's a fear stage, so we take them away to not create fear.
Yep, you're introducing them a little bit, then you're bringing them away, yep. And then you're doing the Manding, right? So are you doing any types of treats yet at 6 weeks or not?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not until I start leash training. And that's just to get them to start moving on it. And then I also randomly give them treats instead of every time.
Gotcha. I've seen some people to get them to do the Manding to work. Basically what a mand is if a puppy's sitting down looking at you, then they will reward them with a treat. I don't know if that's something that Angie's talked to you about trying to do or not, but yeah, getting a puppy, you know, to at 6 weeks old to actually start looking at your face, at a human's face, is a super important, is to me the most important part of this step here. You've been interacting with them this whole time since day 3, and they recognize you, they recognize a human. A normal puppy that isn't receiving this type of curriculum, they're gonna be more like a groundhog or a little whatever rodent, just, you know, rummaging around, you know, doing naughty, maybe toddler type stuff, instead of like a toddler. I like to relate this to a kid. You know, the kids that are trained or taught right, they look at you, they're more sensible about their surroundings. And you'll see that in a litter with this curriculum. So that to me is I hope around 6 weeks old we can show that. A puppy, you know, sitting Manding, looking up, wanting to be, basically they want to be told what to do, or, you know, just interacted with, instead of their minds are, you know, not quite as exposed to all this other stuff, if that makes sense. So that's the coolest part about week 6, to kind of start seeing that. And sometimes they do it sooner, I think, right?
Oh yes, yeah.
Like they'll really.
I think me just talking to them and looking at them in the eyes helps with the manding more than having them sit and.
Yep. Now week 7. What's week 7?
We do sit stays and walk on leash.
So that's kind of when you start more advanced type of training. Now it's not perfect, obviously, but you're introducing it to them. Oh yeah, the other part I do like is introducing the collar at 6 weeks. You're gonna see a collar, at first they always scratch, they don't like it, but then once their puppy comes home to you guys, they're conditioned to having a collar so it's not making noise. They don't have fleas, guys, when they're itching themselves. It's just the collar. Every dog likes to itch their collar. So
they want it off, really.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. It looks like they're scratching fleas, but it's more they're itching their collar. So that's a good point. And then yeah, you're kind of doing the sitting. You have toy. You bring them out in a play area. You know, I think
away from mom.
Away from mom. You'll probably take them to different locations, I think.
Yes, try to expose them to different floors and walk them through doorways, because a lot of dogs get scared of that.
That's great. That's a good point. Yep. And now when we say week 7, is that week 7, then they'll be 8 weeks old and pretty much be done, correct? Like that's kind of...
That's the idea.
That's kind of the you know, when we say week 7, it's kind of the start of week 7 to 8 weeks old when they go home, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then you kind of, week 8, you could say, I mean, if basically by then a puppy, if it's still with us, you'll kind of keep on doing that type of curriculum. So that's it in a nutshell. I know today was more of a talkative. Maybe you guys don't like me talking. I apologize if you didn't like today's video, but it's cool to, you know, I know a lot of people do get into this type of stuff, so it's cool to, I enjoy it a lot. It's kind of, I'm not obviously an expert at it yet. I don't know, obviously you can always improve and figure out different ways, and probably per breed, but it's always, for me, it's fun to talk about this stuff and always keep on improving and providing the best puppy we can to our families. So that's what excites me about it. Obviously it excites me that these puppies are, you know, giving that extra education, you know, and because obviously we want them to go to a good home and be well behaved.
And easily trainable.
So it should help with that. I mean, the training, the potty training, I guess that is the way to end this video. So what is the biggest benefits of this program?
You have a puppy that will give you eye contact. You're already adapted to learning, so they're ready to learn more when they get home.
Yep.
And they're eager to learn at that.
And our Rottweilers can be very lazy, very stubborn. So they're not like an energetic breed. They do have their puppy zoomies. They can be whatever, do their puppy, but overall they're more laid back compared to some other breeds that you train. So it's very, I think this is good for the breed because it can help get their eagerness and wanting to train a lot better. And they are food driven. You'll see that. I'm kind of curious to see how the treats go with them. But other than that, is there any other thing that would benefit? I mean, there's a lot of other things that benefit them.
Oh yeah, the puppy's mind, their body.
It's like a kid's going to school, like starting them young, and they're going to be more advanced.
Yes.
Just the overall temperament is going to be improved for sure. So, and immunity to health issues like germs, and just to be able to to fight if something would happen, to fight that off, to not be stressed out for a puppy at a young age. Say it gets something, you know, that this is huge for that.
It is.
You know,
really is.
They're conditioned. I think condition's a really good word to describe this curriculum, you know, to be able to fight whatever comes their way. So, yeah. I appreciate your time today in today's video, Destiny. I think that's a good way to end it.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. I know you just completed every puppy's, what is today, day 4 or 5 on the scent training?
4.
It's 4. So, yep. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. Comment below what your thoughts are, and if you're interested, always you can give me a call. The link to the website is in the description in the bio. You can go check out our upcoming litters. And yeah, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe. Have a great rest of the day, guys. See ya.